If you want to understand what mountains do to invading armies, you only need to look at Afghanistan. Afghanistan has already taught the world a brutal lesson. Mountains change the rules of war. The British Empire fought wars there in the 19th century. The Soviet Union invaded in 1979 with tanks, helicopters, and one of the largest armies in the world. The United States and NATO fought there for 20 years. Three powerful military forces, three different eras, yet the same pattern kept appearing. Mountain warfare turned strong invading armies into exhausted occupiers trapped in long, draining conflicts. Small groups of fighters could control valleys and mountain passes. They could ambush supply convoys. They could disappear into terrain that large armies could not fully dominate. But the terrain itself also fought back. Cold weather weakened troops. Altitude reduced performance. Snowstorms closed passes. The environment made every operation harder. Even simple tasks like moving fuel, food, or ammunition could become slow and dangerous when the terrain and weather turned against you. Afghanistan showed something important about mountain warfare. Once an army enters that terrain, the war stops being about speed. It becomes about endurance. How long can the army keep supplying its forces? How long can it protect its supply lines? How long can it maintain momentum when every mile forward becomes harder than the last? That lesson matters when you look at Iran, because the same geographic pattern exists there. The Zagros Mountains guard Iran's western frontier. Any army advancing from Iraq would quickly encounter steep ridges, narrow valleys, and limited routes. Every advance would follow predictable corridors. Every supply route would be exposed. Further north, the Alborz Mountains protect the northern approaches to the country's interior. And beyond these mountain belts lie vast plateaus and deserts, terrain that stretches supply lines and slows movement across enormous distances. This means invading Iran would not be one simple campaign. It would be a chain of difficult operations layered on top of each other. First you fight to enter, then you fight to move, then you fight to supply the forces that moved. Every kilometer deeper into the country stretches the invading army further. Every mountain pass becomes another risk. Every valley becomes another ambush point. That is why the phrase "impossible to conquer" resonates, not because Iran is literally unconquerable, but because conquering it would demand an enormous price, in time, in logistics, in resources, and in human cost. Mountains do not guarantee victory for defenders, but they make invasion vastly more expensive. They slow armies down, they weaken supply lines, they favor guerrilla warfare, and they turn the landscape itself into a weapon. So when people talk about invading Iran, the real question is not whether an army could cross the border. The real question is what happens once that army enters the mountains. Because history has already shown us what those wars look like, and wars fought uphill rarely end quickly.